Sealess Initiate. This is one of the cards we saw recently on the stream. Give a random friendly minion +1/+1. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's not gonna have any, like, it doesn't have a role in that meta. It's pretty weak. You can ignore it and shit. Kill off the other minion first, whatever. Usher of Souls. Whenever a friendly minion dies, give you a Katoon +1/+1, whatever it is. It's pretty solid. The stats are good. 5, 5, 6. Let's say you have a board. I mean, you have a lot of spells, new spells, like summon a lot of slimes for 0 mana, or depending on your mana pool. And you trade everything in the same turn you play this. You buff it a bit, and it has solid stats. It's a pretty good card for Katoon decks. Warlock. This deck, this card is shit. This card is absolute shit. 2 mana, 3/1. It's just shit. I don't know what more to say about that one. Twin Emperor Vecnilash. We talked about this one a bit. He gets summoned if your Katoon has 10 attack or more. And having 2 4/6 on the board equals to having like 2 Druid of the Claws with taunt on the board. And that costs 10 mana. This costs
amazing.
7 mana. You save 3 mana, but you get it a bit later in the game, and it has a condition. But this condition will almost always be fulfilled at this point if you play a Katoon deck. So it's a lot of value, and it's a neutral one. I like this card a lot. It's strong. Twilight Geomancer, taunt, battlecry, give your Katoon taunt wherever it is. This card is useless. This card is useless, really useless. Because it doesn't matter if your Katoon has taunt or not. It literally does not matter if your Katoon has taunt or not. Because if you don't win when you play the Katoon, or shortly thereafter, like, you're not gonna lose because he raises you in that meta. You're gonna kill his board more often than not. It's just, yeah, taunt the shit. Twilight Dark Mender, battlecry if your Katoon has at least 10 attack, restore 10 health with your hero. We saw this today. It's ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. You want to stall when you play Katoon decks as much as possible. And getting a heal and a 5/6/5, like a 6/5 for 5, that's just so good. So fucking good. Healing for 10. It's like counteracting a Pyroblast, you know. Storm Crack. Deal 4 damage to a minion. Overload 1. Okay, we have to compare it to Crackle, I guess. And Crackle deals 4.5 damage average with 1 overload. It's more consistent, but it's not better than Crackle. It's not better than Crackle. But Crackle, does Crackle get rotated? I think Crackle gets rotated. Am I right? Yeah, Crackle gets rotated. So, okay, so this is the replacement for Crackle. It's kind of like the new Master card for Paladin, or the new Velens for Priest. So yeah, it makes sense that they make cards slightly weaker.
One of the boys was sleeping.
To slow down the games.
Reach down and play with his dick.
And make them longer. Longer games means that the more skilled opponent will win more often than not, which I kind of like. More turns to misplay, more turns to do good plays. Squirming Tentacle, 3 mana 2/4 with taunt. Well, it's an upgraded Silverback Patriarch. It's a shitty Wormrust Agent thingy for Priest, the Dragon card with 2/4 taunt, 2 mana. It's pretty shit. It's not gonna be played at all. South Sea Squid Face Pirate. Give your weapon +2 attack. 4/4/4. Give it 2+ attack. That is really good, considering pirates have gotten a buff. I saw a lot of cool pirates card, so this card is actually solid as fuck. Oh, it's rogue only though. Wait, it's rogue only.
Nice review, Dad.
It's actually a rogue card. It's not as good as I thought because it's rogue only. If you could play this in warrior, it would have been more solid. Can only attack if your hero attack this turn. These stats are really, really good for 3 mana. So it's gonna be played in rogue, if it's played at all. I mean, there's so many other cards that are class specific. I haven't really seen it, so I can't comment on that. But druid, rogue, warrior can do some shit with this. But it's, oh, I don't know, 5 health is good. But I don't think it's anything too spicy, considering there's so many 3-drops that are class specific and good. Or buffs Katoon, or something like that. Shatter, destroy a frozen minion. It's a good card because there's those minions that freezes when you cast a spell. I think it's really good if you build your deck around it. It has some great synergy, especially because there's gonna be so many big minions. Like you can't. BGH is getting nerfed. This is a great answer to killing a lot of big minions in the next expansion, especially since everyone will be playing this shit. Because there's no aggro anymore. There's no aggro. There's maybe gonna be one aggro deck that's half decent. Shadow Strike, deal 5 damage to an undamaged character. This is one of the most sickest cards I've ever seen. And I can't believe it's actually 5 damage for 3 mana. It is unbelievably strong. It's like, it's so fucking good. It is so fucking strong. Gonna be played in every rogue deck, 2 of, for sure, no doubt. This is a must-have in the deck. Selfless Hero, Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion Divine Shield. This card is solid as fuck. But when do you want to play this? Like, you're just looking at this card, putting it in like this meta. It's one of the most insane cards ever, right? It's one of the most insane cards ever. You fucking play this turn 1, Knife Juggler turn 2, you trade this, get a fucking Knife Juggler with Divine Shield. But when is this gonna be played in the next expansion? You can't play Secret Paladin. You can play some sort of aggro Paladin, sure, but I mean you can't play this in control decks because it's just not a lot of value really in those long games. But maybe they can find some sort of aggro Paladin. There's always Divine Favor, right? Divine Favor counters control pretty hard, so if there's gonna be one cool aggro deck, it might be Paladin. I haven't seen all the cards, so I can't really comment on that, but we'll see if they have more shit. Is this a Paladin card? Yeah, it's a Paladin card. This card is really good.
Are you role-playing as Trump? Just asking.
There's a lot of value here, considering it's like an Eagle Horde bow, but you get instant value to your minions. Pretty good card. Especially if you go back and have a look at this guy here, Selfless Hero, Psychotron. It's bad. It's bad because mech decks are used to, like, all the mech decks are aggressive swords, and you don't want to play a 5 mana 3/4 when you're an aggressive deck, right? The Noyatron is really good in those decks because it counters other aggro decks, but this is not good at all. And mechs are probably not going to be seen, especially since Blast Mage disappears. Blast Mage is a Goblin versus Gnomes card, so we're not going to see that at all. Primal Fusion. Give a minion +1 for each of your totems. There's some new totems, strong minions that counts as totems. It's definitely above average for sure. I like it, and it's very cheap as well, so you can combo it with other stuff. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's good, it's good. Power Word Tentacles, your favorite hentai card. It's as I said, it's like shitty Valence that Priest currently has, but that card will be rotated out the same as Crackle and Muster, and that's why they're making these cards. They're slower, they're more value in a long game, but it doesn't have the spell power. It only has 2 more health for 5 mana. It's 2 more mana than the other card. It's pretty bad. Not sure it will see play. If it had +1 spell power, it could have seen play, maybe. On the Hunt, I can't make up my mind about this card. It's like an arcane shot split into 2, where you get 1/1 and 1 damage dealt. And I think that this card would have been more viable if you actually got like a boar with charge, so you could split your arcane shot into 2 sources of damages. But this card is not super good, no, not really. But with a boar, it would have been pretty good. Boar control. At the start of your turn, reduce this card cost by 1. This card is insane. As we said, if you keep this in your starting hand, that means you get a 3 mana 4/4 on turn 3. It's just like so solid. You can keep it in your opening hand. If you get it later, it's not a problem. I think this card is pretty good, pretty damn good. Like an individual Emperor effect, kind of. It happens at the start of your turn and not at the end, which is even better. This is definitely gonna see play. I don't know how much, but it's gonna see play in some decks. It's solid. At the start of your opponent's turn, they have
a 50% chance to draw an extra card. I do believe that a lot of people look at this card and they're like, dust, like it's shit. But as I said, all the games are gonna be super long, and getting fatigue 2 or 3 turns earlier will literally win you the game. And it has stats. The stats are good. 2, 2, 4. It's really good. It's a legendary, so you can't play 2 of them. But it's really good actually. You know, I play a lot of Control Warrior mirrors, and it's all about not drawing too many cards. Same with Priest and those mirrors. You don't want to draw too many cards. Forcing your opponent to have a chance to draw more cards than he wants. It's pretty good for these stats. I like it a lot. But you do want to make sure that if you play this card, you want good removals in your deck. But I like it, I like it. I like this card actually. It would have been better if you could play 2 of this, because then you could make more synergy around it. But yeah, it's a one-off legendary. Midnight Drake, Battlecry, gain +1 attack for each other card in your hand. Okay, so they're trying to make that Dragon legendary 12/12 work. So it's a Twilight. Wait, what? I don't understand. Let's say you have. Okay, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think it's that good. This has no synergy with the Deathwing card at all. Pretty good. 6/5 for 7 mana. I'm unsure, I haven't seen all the cards. But there are a lot of battle cries, like the Divine Shield weapon and stuff like that. And Muster weapon is getting rotated out. That's a Light Justice actually. You can actually equip a Light Justice with this. Unless it's warrior specific weapons, then it's good. But I don't know, if it's all the classes, you get a fucking Light Justice. I don't know. It seems scary to play this card. You get a Gore Howl though, and you laugh all the way to the bank, but yeah, that's not gonna happen very often. Journey Below, discover a Death Rider card. Not very good. It's like a shitty Raven Idol, I guess. It is a 1 mana spell. Rogue likes cheap cards because they can combo. You can combo this shit with all the combos that rogues have, because it's a 1 mana spell. They need cheap stuff. And it's also, I wouldn't say it's good. You know the new legendary Yogg? I wouldn't say that it's good with that card, because it can actually backfire and Pyroblast you in the face. But it has some synergy with that card, if you want to play it, because it's really cheap and stuff. Infested Wolf, we talked about this one. This one is good, because the spiders are actually beasts compared to Haunted Creeper spiders that you usually played in Hunter before. So this is a good card. And you want stuff to stick on the board with Hunter, because of Houndmaster and the new Infest spell and stuff like that. You want sticky stuff. It's a really solid card. Definitely gonna see play in every Hunter deck, mid-range to control. Hooded Acolyte. Whenever a character is healed, give your Katoon +1/+1 wherever it is. The stats are good. A good card, I think. It's not over the top good. You're not gonna have a lot of time to heal. Use your hero power. I'm trying to think if there's other healing spells. I mean, it does have the synergy that, like, you can heal a lot of, like Holy Noah, for example, on the board where everything is damaged. You get a lot of +1/+1, right? But I don't think it can stick long enough on the board with this damage. Like, you can easily trade into this with bigger stuff for you to get a lot of value of this. So it's not that great. Grotesque Dragonhawk, Wind Fury. This is a shitty card. I don't understand why they would put this in the deck. Or in this set. Like, this will never see play, ever. This is definitely dust value. I mean, the fact that it's a beast won't even save it in Hunter. It's just completely garbage. Forbidden Ritual, here we go. Spend all your mana, summon that many 1/1 tentacles. I think it's a great card. It has synergy with some of the Warlock cards and other cards. Sea Giant.
Alive, you fuck nuts.
That 5/6 Warlock card that buffs Katoon whenever a friendly minion dies. Pretty good combo with this. This solid card. Forbidden Ancient. Battlecry, spend all your mana, gain +1. It's not a good card. It's not a good card at all. I mean, it's like, if you compare it to like, it's really good. Like, you hate when you top deck the Zombie Chow on like turn 15, right? If you compare it to topping this one drop instead, it's 100 times more solid. But I don't think it's good enough to earn a spot in the deck. I don't think so. Maybe as a one-off. Probably one of the most broken cards I've seen. It's up there with the rogue card in terms of power, the 3 mana 5 damage spell. This card is literally insane when I saw this shit. 4 mana, 7/7, overload 2. Has some synergy with the new 3/2 minion that unlocks your overload crystals. No BGH in this meta. There will be no BGH after you play this. It's just fucking ridiculous. It's so strong. Not much to say since it's vanilla. Fiery Bat. This card will make Reynard cry. It's solid. It's solid for sure. It's not ridiculous. It's a hunter card. It's a beast card. It's a solid 1-drop, as I said. It's good anti-aggro for control / mid-range hunters coming up. It's gonna be played in every one of those decks. I mean, if you compare it to Zombie Chow, Zombie Chow is also good anti-aggro, right? But this is a beast, so it has some synergy, and that's why it makes it better than Zombie Chow. And it's better than Zombie Chow when you get it later in the game as well. Feral Rage. Give your hero 4 attack this turn or gain 8 armor. This reminds me of Bite, of course. Feral Rage, yeah. It's a healing touch if you want. It's actually better than a healing touch more often than not. It's just a good card, right? It's just a good card. You can compare it to Orch, 3 mana, 3 damage, but it's 3 mana, 4 damage, or 4 attack rather. Attack is not the same as damage. I like this card, it's good. It's solid. Your choose 1 cards have both effects combined. With Keeper getting a nerf, it's not ridiculous, this card. It's gonna survive 1 turn, and you're gonna get that charging 4/6 Druid of the Claw. But it's not insane, but it's solid, I think. I don't remember all the other cards. I don't think I've seen all the other choose 1 cards that Druid has, so maybe I can go back to this one. There are some good cards out there. Uproot. Ancient of... I don't think that's gonna be played much. Ancient of War. Ancient of Lore is also getting nerfed. Is this just a vanilla card? This is not summoned by anything. This is literally just a 10/10/10 vanilla. Why would anyone ever play this card in the history of Hearthstone? Am I missing something? It's literally like, it's shittier than that Wind Fury card. Evolved Kobold, 4 mana 2/2 spell damage +2. It's shit. This is a really bad card. Transfer your minions into random minions that cost 1 more. This is an insane card because Shaman has a lot of battle cries, and battle cry minions has shitty stats to compensate for the battle cry. And when you play this after they use the battle cry, then they get a lot of value, especially since they cost 1 more, and then you get another effect, like Death Rattle or something. So it's probably one of the strongest cards in the set, for sure. Eternal Sentinel, battle cry, unlock your overloaded mana crystals. It's just a lava shock but a minion instead. But this is a good alternative to lava shock depending on how you want to build your deck. Eldritch Horror. 8 mana, 6/10. All these vanilla cards are pretty bad compared to the ones that have effects in this expansion. I mean, these are just like useless pretty much. I guess they're mostly made to be played in arena. I mean, when I'm reviewing these cards, I'm just talking about constructed, by the way, if you didn't understand that, because I don't play arena. But it's good in arena, I guess. High health pool, solid attack. What the fuck? Oh, I thought it had charge. I was about to flip some fucking tables right there. I just fucking saw Huffer. I'm trying to think. You can use it with charge cards, the 2/5. Not sure if that can fit into one of the new hunter decks. Yeah, so we have this new hunter card that I don't remember exactly what it did, but it had really good synergy with charge. It's like if it killed a minion, it could attack again, I think. So if you want to play that card, it's a legendary. So if you want to play that legendary, the beast that if it kills something, it gets to attack again and again and again and again. You might want to play that with charge, like the 2/5 that gets charged to beasts, and then you can play this as a 2 mana 4 damage removal. Just throw that down and 2 mana 4 damage. It's pretty solid, right? But I don't know. We'll have to see if that's actually a combo that's viable. Doomcaller, give your Katoon +2/+2, whatever it is, even if it is dead, shuffle it. Oh, if it's dead, shuffle it into your deck. So this is my thinking. When you play your Katoon, The turn you play Katoon, you either win the game or you have already lost the game. Pretty much, when you play your Katoon. If it's dead, shuffle it into your deck, it's kind of useless because you have to build it up again. I don't think the stats are saved when it dies. If it's saved, then this card can be playable, but it's very expensive. It's 8 mana.
Choose one.
This is not a good card. Yeah, this is not a good card because it's way too cheap. There's not enough value on this card in order to justify playing it in a control meta. You want more expensive spells that does more in a long game. And even if it's like aggro meta, where you want cheap cards with Divine Favor, it would have been better if it was 2 attack
Hey
and
Dad,
1
could
health.
you ask Prince if he
And not
remembers
health.
the million?
Battle Cry, deal 2 damage, give you Katoon. This is a really sick card in Katoon decks, for sure. It's gonna be played in every deck that has trouble removing minions early on. Not all of the decks, but the ones that doesn't really have spells or a good 3 mana minions. But yeah, it's solid. Not ridiculous, but it's solid. Dark Speaker, Battlecry, swap stats with a friendly minion. What do we think about this card? I mean, it's good because you play a minion, and then you can swap the attack, like a shitty minion, you swap the attack with that minion, and he gets attacked with the new stats immediately. But it's not really good stats for 5 mana. Darkshire Librarian, Battlecry, discard a random card, Death Rattle, draw a card. It's pretty bad. Unless you build some sort of Fist of Jaraxxus deck. Now, but there are some discard mechanics in Warlock. There are some discard mechanics. So if you can build a deck with that, I don't know, I haven't seen all the cards as I said, but maybe it can be played. But like in this meta, it wouldn't have been very good, I think. Like Knife Juggler just dominates this. After you summon a minion, gain +1 attack. Yeah, this can be the same synergy as the other guy who buffs Katoon with the mass ooze thingies or tentacles, whatever it is. I think it's tentacles. It's a really solid 3-drop. It's a really solid 3-drop for sure. High health. The health might be too good. Darkshire Alchemist, restore 5 health. This is like a vanilla Yeti plus a Holy Light for 1 mana to heal 5, and it can heal anything. Not the best card maybe in a control meta. I don't think I would play this. I don't think so.
Prince Bible
It's not that good.
just
It's not
needed
that
your
good.
help.
Flash Shield, what did I say? Oh, I say Holy Light or something. Okay, Flash Shield, that's what I meant. Can be comboed with Arcanine. If Arcanine would be played at all, I don't know. I don't think you can fit. I don't think you will play Arcanine and Circle because it's not that aggressive for meta. So you can't really waste that many slots for anti-aggro cards. Although Light Bomb is disappearing, so you might want to play it anyway. But they're getting another spell, I don't remember exactly what it did, but this card is sick. This fucks aggro in the ass pretty hard. 1 health for each enemy minion for 4 mana, for 4 fucking mana, and it has taunt. It's a pretty good card, 3 damage, deals with almost every aggressive card earlier on. Cold Sorcerer, after spell damage +1, after you cast a spell, give your Katoon +1/+1, whatever it is. It's alright, It would have been better as a 2/3, probably, but it's still good. Whenever this minion takes damage, give your Katoon +1/+1. It's a bit expensive. Most likely played in Warrior, but it has taunt. It's actually a solid replacement for Belcher. Not quite as good as Belcher was in this expansion, or in these expansions, but it's still okay as a replacement. Not a super good card though. This card is a Consecrate and a 2/3 Murloc in one. It's too expensive. It's way too expensive. It costs 6. If it cost 5, it would have been decent if they tried to build some sort of Murloc synergy. We did see though that 1 mana spell that transforms the minions into 1 higher cost minion, and this is one of the examples where it's really good. You transform this after you're using the Consecrate and the Murloc, and then you transform this, and we saw this on stream actually. It happened on stream. It's pretty good. Not this card, but transforming this card. But that can be said with any battle cry. I don't know, Murlocs. They have some good Murloc cards. Maybe those Murloc cards can work in this expansion with some additional Murlocs. Carrion Grub, 3 mana 2/5. You want high health pool on in Control Hunter, Mid-Range Hunter, because of the synergy that you can give to beasts. It's solid stats, and it's a beast, but it's nothing too fancy. It's nothing too fancy. 7, 6, 8 with taunt. Bog Creeper. 6, 8 with taunt. You can compare it to Ancient of War, kinda. Not exactly, but it's an arena card. It's an arena card. But it's not seeing constructed play at all. Blood to Ichor. Deal 1 damage to a minion. If it survives, summon up to 2 slime. It's pretty okay, pretty good. 2 slime is good. You can do this on your Acolyte and get a 2/2. Draw a card. It's pretty solid in Warrior. And it has some synergy. Green Patrons maybe, probably not, because no Death Spite, but let's see. Battlecry, if you control a pirate, give your weapon +1/+1. 3, 3, 4. Compared to the Spider Tank in a mech deck, it's better. But you have to play pirates, not mechs. The pirates seem to be quite strong, especially in Warrior. Warrior and Rogue is gonna be the pirate decks. It's fucking solid, especially since you get one durability that is super important. You want to play minions but still have the board control by using your life pool. Bloodhoof, Brave, Taunt, Enrage, +3 attack, 4 mana, 2/6. We saw this card as well. It's a way better Gurubashi Berserker for sure. And you can combo this with Blood to Ichor if you want to make it a 5 attack immediately for 1 damage. I like this card. It is better than Tastingo for sure. Blade of Cthulhu. Here we go. We talked about this one. This one is just too overpriced for sure. 9 mana is like, yeah, it's just Assassinate and a 4/4 in one card, but less value. You do get this, but I'm not sure how many games you can rely on winning with Cthulhu. But I think this is overrated. A lot of people said this was too good. Bladed Cultist combo, gain +1/+1. It's a zombie chow, essentially, without the healing effect. Maybe in Pirate Rogue you can play this, get a good early lead. If you have the coin, it's super strong. But yeah, I'm not too confident about aggro decks at all. Your weapon costs 2 less. Ooh, this is pretty sick. In Warrior, they have a lot of expensive ones. Not sure how many pirates you can fit into one deck. You need some spells as well. The weapons, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna take a leak. Discuss League or Dota.